Hey folks, maybe you've considered at one point becoming a beach bum. Maybe you've earned it. Maybe you've worked hard. Maybe you've saved a little bit of money. Maybe you just want to unplug for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, whatever. Kind of reconnect with nature, stay by the beach, relax, no drama, etc. Maybe you've considered doing that. If you have, I'm going to show you how you can do it. I mean, Thailand's full of great beaches here. There's many you can pick from. I guess the first step, we're going to go through this from day one until you're settled, but I guess the first step will be selecting a beach. We're just going to use the beach that I live at here in Rayong. I'll show you where it is. It's as good a beach as any. You want to pick something that's not too touristy because it's going to be more expensive. A lot of this is being on the cheap, doing it very cheap. It will be much cheaper than I think most of you realize. We'll get to that. A couple things you need to do. Let's not even call this day one. Let's call this day zero. A couple things you need to do on day zero, meaning as you leave or before you even leave. One will be definitely consider doing this, getting an eSIM for your phone. That's not a SIM card, it's basically an app, it's a piece of software which will enable you to have Wi-Fi internet access the minute you hit the ground here. They have these for about 200 different countries. So if you get that, it's going to cost you $3 for the small one, about $6, $5-6 for one that's pretty decent, that'll last you your first maybe 5, 6, 7 days here, enough gigabytes of data. And I think that's a good deal. I don't see how you lose on that. I would consider doing that. You'll need data when you get here. Number two, I would book a hotel somewhere in the middle of the beach that you're considering. Try to get on the cheap there. Again, that's up to you. I'll show you one in a minute here. But you want a hotel for at least 2 nights before you find some more permanent lodging. And three, one of your pieces of luggage should be a backpack. Not a big mountaineer backpack, not a big military backpack. Kind of a going to school book bag backpack, just a standard size backpack. You'll need that. That'll come in handy. So I guess the last thing you have to do before you book the plane and get on the plane and come here is your visa status. You can come here from most countries for 30 days at a stamp when you arrive. So that might be what you want to do. If you want to do that, but stay longer, you can extend that for 30 days once you get here. With a little bit of money, pretty simply at an immigration office, costs you about $60 to do that, and maybe an hour or so in the immigration office to get another 30-day extension. But you can avoid that. You can maybe get a 60-day tourist visa in your home country. That might be preferable. Or if you're doing long-term, if you're coming here to retire, consider getting a retiree visa. You can do that at your home country. So when you land here, they stamp you in for a full year. Up to you on that. Do your own research. But the minimum you're going to have is, in most cases, depending where you're coming from, is 30 days with the ability to extend that for another 30 fairly easily. And once you've done all that, you book your flight and off you go. Now, you'll land at Suvarnabhumi Airport in Bangkok more than likely. It'll be the middle of the night. Here again, you have the data, internet on your phone. You don't have to wait in line at any kiosk that may or may not even be open at the hour you get in. One thing that you will want to just take the time to do is as soon as you get there, go down to the sub-basement, change all your money, whether that be euros or dollars or whatever you come with, change that all into Thai baht. The sub-basement has several money changers down there, little kiosks. They should be open. I believe they're open 24 hours. And I think one of the best ones is Super Rich, but any of them down there by the train station, by the BTS stop in the sub-basement will give you a good rate. Just go ahead and change all that right away. Have your pockets full of Thai baht, grab a cab, and come to your hotel. That's where we'll pick up. You've arrived. The taxi from the airport dropped you off at one of these hotels. There's 2 right here that I know of, right in the middle of the beach, about in the middle. 5 to 600 baht a night. So about, let's just call it $15 to $20. Not going to break the bank. You want to book for 2 nights, at least 2 nights. You can maybe book for a third once you're here, but you want to have at least that first night, and then you probably are going to need the second night before we find some more permanent lodging, which is what we will be doing. But you get into your hotel, regardless of what time you get in. My advice is, if it's daytime, stay up. If it's nighttime, go to bed. What you want to do is try to get on schedule right away. So even if you get in, it's 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, try to lay in bed with the lights off. Maybe your eyes are wide open like that laying in bed, but try to go in there and try to go to sleep, and then try to get out of bed 6, 7 o'clock in the morning to start your day. That's just a surefire way to try to get on schedule. May work, may not, but anyway, try it, give it a try. And then we'll be ready to start day 1 tomorrow morning. So, our first stop of day one of the most important temporary things you'll need, temporary transportation. And we've come here, we're gonna rent that, something we're gonna rent. It's gonna cost us 100 baht, we're about $3 a day. We'll probably be out of this tomorrow. I think we can get out of this tomorrow, at worst the next day. So you're gonna spend, what, a maximum of $6 for some temporary transportation. It's gonna come in the form of a bike, the kind of bike you pedal, that's right. I can hear you guys now, well, why wouldn't you recommend a motorbike rental? They have motorbikes there. Because we're talking about the beach bum here, the guy that wants to be the beach bum. And I would just say, ask yourself this simple question. Do you have a bike back home that you use for transportation? I mean, a motorbike. Do you have a motorbike that you maybe use on the weekends? Either way, if the answer is yes, then go ahead and rent a motorbike. It's going to be double the money, but you probably will be more comfortable in that. But if you don't have one of those things, you don't have a motorcycle license, you're not really a biker, you're not really riding, don't come here and rent one. It's a very dangerous place to learn how to ride. You don't need that drama, especially if you're coming just to be a beach bum and you're just trying to get to 7-Eleven without walking. So the push bike would be the way to go here. 100 baht here again. They had to get it all cleaned up and inside. I'm not sure they rent too many of these. And is that a good price? I don't know. But you're splitting hairs here. You're splitting hairs if you can find one for 60 baht or 80 baht, you're splitting hairs. It's convenient. This is only a minute's walk from the motel, so you can't beat that. They did ask for the passport in renting the bike. I'm actually going to rent the bike. Even though I'm just doing a kind of a how-to video. I'll actually rent the bike and pedal it around for some of this. But they did ask for a passport, so you would want to have your passport. That backpack's going to come in handy because you get on the bike, you can throw that backpack on your back and go to one of our next places, which, by the way, I thought it was going to be farther away. It's not. It's actually right next door. So by some sheer stroke of luck, right next to the bike place where you got your 100 baht transportation, temporary transportation, is this beach shop where you can fulfill some other temporary needs. One pressing need we have right away. You got to get out of those Western clothes and into some more comfortable beach type wear. Whatever you bring from home, it's not going to breathe like the material here. The material here is much thinner. It's better for the heat. You're going to need it. You're going to want it. It's cheap. So you're going to probably come in here, get a couple shirts, maybe a couple shorts, maybe a pair of elephant pants. Everybody, you're going to get elephant pants sooner or later anyway. You might as well start off with them. They're nice and thin. This is all stuff that's going to be 50 to 100, 150 baht. Another essential you may need is flip-flops. Take your pick between the elephant pant pattern and the tropical island pattern of flip-flop for 100 baht each. There you go. You got your flip-flops. You got your beach shirt, some shorts, elephant pants. Hey, you might even want something like goggles or scuba gear, whatever. They've got it all here, right here, across from the beach, right next to the bicycle place. There's your temporary wardrobe. We'll address a more permanent wardrobe in a day or two, but you have something to wear. It's going to be much more comfortable and not so hot. So now that you got your bike, you can go out exploring a little bit. And I got to tell you, it's been a while since I've ridden the bike, but I got to tell you, it's a lot better than walking. No gas, no insurance, no driver's license, just about $3. There you go. I don't think transportation gets much cheaper than that. But we will look at another very cheap form of transportation about on day 3. Especially as hot as it is. I feel hot just standing there or walking, but on the bike you get a little bit of breeze, and that's a good thing. Now, we've got, of course, the temporary lodging. That'll be again tonight because you booked for 2 nights. We've got the temporary transportation, and we even found you some temporary duds at the little clothing store. There's only one real thing left to do today, in the first day, day 1 for the temporary stuff, and that is find a temporary, a quick source of food. You had a little breakfast at the hotel, maybe a little nosh, but what you really need is something that's going to fill you up for the rest of the day. So, since we got the bike's even got a basket on it, you've got your backpack, we're going to head just another block away to the 7-Eleven. Day one draws to a close here with your belly full and all that we've accomplished. It's time to maybe head back to the hotel and get a little rest, get a good night's sleep for day two. There'll be lots to do day two, but also maybe put some of that free, that Wi-Fi that you paid for to work and maybe start scouting around for some more permanent places to live that we'll look at on day two. Day one was about temporary solutions. Day two, let's look at permanent solutions. So maybe we get rid of our rental bike and buy one. We come up here to the bike store. Looks like the bikes start at around 2,500 baht, go up to about 3,500 baht, so somewhere between $75 and $100. You just had a rental bike, so maybe you can see some features that might make sense, like a little headlight, might be safety at night. The basket's convenient. Of course, one that fits, one that has the adjustable seat and everything. There are some bikes that have different speeds. So they might have 5 different final drive gears, better for hills. Although the beach is rather flat, so not sure you need that, but that is an option. So you weigh all these things out. You buy one of these bikes, even if you're only here for a short time, a month or two. It'll cost you less to buy one than rent one every day, and you can probably sell it back for maybe half what you paid for it and come out ahead. All right, now we got to get rid of that hotel room and find some more permanent lodging, something that's not going to break the bank either. So by this time on day two, the beginning of day two, we've just traded in the bike, bought our own bike, turned in the rental bike. Right behind there is this condo. We found a unit in here for rent, 4,200 baht. 4,200 baht. Now, we did find another one down the street. Not really a condo, more of a room, for 3,500, but I think this is more appealing. This has a swimming pool. Even that one didn't even have a private bathroom. It had a communal bathroom for the rooms. This has a private bath. So I think for a little bit more, it's still not a whole lot of money. It's like under $150. Try to put the exact amount up here. And it's literally right on the beach, right on Beach Road. From your door, the ground floor of the building to the sand, less than a minute. So now that you have the room, now the room's small. The room is small, but it's cheap. And that's what we're trying to keep, this cheap, to be the kind of quintessential cheap beach bum. You need a cheap place to stay. The other one is even cheaper though. 3,500, and it's a brand new room, brand new air. Just, you don't have your own private bathroom. You have to go out the back door and use a communal bathroom, which I didn't think that would be as appealing. Anyway, nice big pool deck here. Over there, just that building right over there, they're renting for like 15,000 baht a month. Bigger units with balconies and all. These are older units, but this one looks like a recently refurb. I'll show you some pictures of it. We were trying to get in today. It's so busy. It's a very hectic weekend here, actually, on the beach. During the week is much slower. So I should have done some of this earlier in the week. But anyway, we have a room now. 4,200 baht. We have our own transportation. It's about time to go get something to eat. And you don't want to eat at the beach. I'll tell you why. But you don't want to be eating right around here. Although last night we did 7-Eleven, I'll show you the much better way so you don't break a budget there either. So yesterday we grabbed a bite at 7-Eleven, and that's convenient, close by the beach, and you can do that once in a while. But in the long term, you don't want to eat by the beach. Your food will cost you about double. And 7-Eleven, let's be honest, it's kind of junk food, but good once in a while. What you need to do, just get on your Google Maps or whatever with your prepaid eSIM that you got before you left. You have Wi-Fi. Search for something like a paint store, a home improvement store, building supplies, hardware stores, that kind of thing. You'll probably find all those kind of glommed together in one area or one corridor. That will be the commercial or business corridor of whatever town it is. I don't care what town, that rule will apply. So they don't put those type of items in the tourist areas right by the beach. They're more in the business commercial sector. And that's where you can begin to look for somewhere to eat. And right here, I can show you just as an example, in the business commercial corridor here, there are countless places right along here. You could eat at a different one every day of the week if you wanted, but this is where you're going to get 50, 60, 70 baht a dish. where that's going to be easily double that if you go to one of the beach vendors. The beach vendors is there for convenience. It's not there for cheap living. So anyway, I'll show you what we get. Here's just one example of a place, but you can use your translator, take a picture of the menu, because a lot of times what you'll find is all these menus will be all in Thai. You won't know what's what, but take an image of that. Use your camera app on your translator, get it translated to English or whatever your language is, and then you can count down what line you want. Oh, I want the 4th line. You can at least point to that and tell them I want number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can point to the one you want. You'll know what that is at that point. Anyway, we're gonna get something to eat. So lots of progress here on day 2. We got the permanent transportation now, a permanent residence, and we've got a permanent, nice, sustainable food source vis-a-vis these restaurants in the business corridor. At 50 baht each there. I got the lad na. Lan got the fried rice. Put the chili in to meet your taste buds. Both of those dishes are served mild. So anyway, right across the street from this place is a hardware store where you may find items for your new abode, and that's what day 3 will be. Day 3 will be moving to your new abode. You got the bike, you got the backpack. It might take a couple trips, whatever you've collected so far. Move to your new abode, and then maybe take a day of rest. Although you will have to report your new address to the immigration office. So maybe it's day 4, maybe it's day 5, maybe you took a day off. You're all moved in, you're all settled. It's time for you maybe to venture down into the big city. Not that big of a city, but the big city, we'll call it that, to maybe the big shopping mall. Maybe you want some more permanent clothes, some better clothes, or whatever. Maybe by this time that you've decided there's some things you need or want. You can get there very cheaply. So I'm stood here at the bus station. This is the bus station at the beach. It's covered, so in case it's raining, you're not going to get wet. There's a little table here. That's all you need. And you'll wait for the bus to come by. It varies. The schedule isn't really engraved in stone. But from starting about 9 o'clock in the morning, you can catch the bus, which is in the form of a white pickup truck, bot bus, Songtao type thing, that will whisk you all the way down the whole beach, back out onto the main road, onto the highway, down into the city of Rayong, to the Central Mall, what they call Central, the Thais call Santan. So that's where you go, and they have everything in the world there. They got places to eat, drink, shops of all sorts, Western goods, all the things that you may need. And across from that, just across from that, you can walk. There's a little bridge over the highway, is what's called a Big C, and the Big C is like a Walmart. So more of that kind of stuff, goods you may need, and maybe at even a lower price. And then ditto on the way back. On the way back, you just get back on right where you got off. Maybe you ask the driver what time he'll be back. He'll be ready to go back, or what the schedule is. Probably only about maybe 5 or 6 of these in a given day. So you're a little bit at the mercy of the schedule. But for 30 baht, it's going to cost you a little bit under $1. And that's cheap transportation. I guess you could leave your bike right here at the bus station, chain it up to one of these posts, and get on your bus downtown to experience the big city. So you are well on your way to becoming a beach bum at this point. Now, you may like everything that I've showed you. You might just like one thing. Maybe your journey's totally different, but maybe there's at least one tidbit of information you can use on your journey, which will no doubt be different than this one. I don't know why, but when I was back in the world or working stiff, having a bad day at work, drama, trouble, lots of issues, I would often think about being at a beach, at this beach, relaxing, listening to the tide come in, and somehow that provided a little bit of solace. And I think the beach does that to all of us. Helps with the relaxation process, and I don't know, makes us maybe feel a little better inside. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Something else next time, but for this one, I gotta go ahead and leave it off right here. And as usual, I'll thank you for watching. And until next time, bye for now.